So in order to do example 4, which says using a calculator, we have to make sure our calculator is in the correct mode. So I'm just going to give you a couple examples real fast. What is the sine? You tell me right now without your calculator, what is the sine of 30 degrees? Sine of 30. The one that I said, like, I don't know how many times I say this. 24? 24? Not the 6. I don't know. All right, so we know the sine of 30 has to be a half. So on your calculator, if you type in the sine button and then you type in 30, if your calculator is in the correct mode, it's going to say 0.5. Some of you, I know it's in the wrong mode, so we're going to change it and fix it together. We can all look at it together. Right, because it's in the wrong mode. So to change the mode, you go to the button down here at the bottom that says mode. And the problem that some of you are having is you don't have it in degree mode. We're typing in the sine of 30 degrees, but yours isn't in degree mode. So you need to make sure it is in degree mode. So go down, hit enter on degree. Once you have hit enter on degree, you hit second mode, and you can get out of that screen and try it again. Do sine 30. And it should be a half if it is in the correct mode. Are we all in the correct mode? Let me find mode on there. All right. Now, how would we find the cosine of 15 degrees? Do you know the cosine of 15 degrees on the top of your head?
No.
Is it in our chart?
No.
What degrees are in our chart?
30, 45.
30, 45, 60. So 15 is not. So since it is not in our chart, we go to our calculator and we type in what?
Cosine 15.
So type in cosine 15 and you should get a decimal. The book is going, or the assignment is going to ask you to round to 4 decimal places. So what will we round to?
4 decimal places.
You have a what? 0.9659. 65. Okay. How would we do the tangent at 2 degrees?
0.0349.
Tangent to enter 0.0349. All right, now let's get really tricky. The cosecant
How do you do
of
that?
30 degrees.
Is this second or cosine?
Second sine. No, not cosine.
Okay, hold
just
on.
sine.
Is 30 degrees in our chart?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we should know the answer. What should the answer be? Which one is cosecant the reciprocal of? Remember, there's only one co per pair.
Sine.
So cosecant is a reciprocal of sine. So do you know what the sine of 30 degrees is?
1/2.
So what's the cosine
2.
have to be? It has to be 2. Can you get that on your calculator?
It said an error.
Well, then you didn't type it in there. So the question is how we type it in our calculator.
Sine to the power of negative.
No.
No?
No. You should have learned in geometry when you use that second sign, that sign of the -1 thing, when you use second sign, that's when you're finding an angle. So we haven't gone over that yet this year, but that's when you're finding an angle. You do second sign, you're undoing sign, and you're finding the angle. So there's a different way. What is cosecant? Cosecant is the, starts with an R.
Reverse.
Reciprocal of what?
Sine.
Sine. So instead of cosecant of 30, we can do the reciprocal of sine 30. So we can write so instead of cosecant of 30 degrees, we do 1 over sine of 30 degrees, the reciprocal of sine. We flip sine. Okay, well, don't learn it. That's so much. Now, I hope that you're just jotting these notes down so that when you have them in your homework, you know what to do. Okay, so did you type it in and did you get 2?
Yeah.
So just type it in your calculator, and depending on which calculator you have, you could either do alpha y equals 1 over sine 30, or you could do 1 divided by sine 30 if you don't have the alpha y equals either side. So using that, how would we find the secant of 67 degrees? What would I type in my calculator to find the secant of 67 degrees? What is secant? Secant is the what of cosine?
Reciprocal
The
of
reciprocal.
cosine.
So we do 1 over
Cosine.
cosine 67. So the answer should be approximately okay. Okay, how about one more? Cotangent of 46 degrees. How do we do it? What do I type in my calculator? And I hope that everybody is actively participating and not waiting for one person to yell at the answer, but you're actually practicing yourself. So that when you have this on a quiz, you have practiced it enough that you remember how to do it. So, Trevor, what do I type in? No, he doesn't have that option. Cotangent is the reciprocal of what? So what am I going to type in? Yeah. So we type in 1 over tangent 46. And Brenna, what'd you get? Okay, 4 decimal places. So what would it be? 4. That's pretty. Yes. Okay. On your homework, they're going to ask you 4 decimal places. You don't round to 4 decimal places, they're going to mark it wrong. And you're going to be like, what did I do wrong? But you're not rounding correctly. All right. Now, what are we going to use this for? Here we go. Today we're going to solve a right triangle. When it says solve, these are from 2 days ago. Have you not been here for 2 days? 9 months? Okay. When it says solve a right triangle, it means to find. Anybody know? Kyle knows.
Oh.
All the sides.
Kyle should know.
You need all the angles and all the lengths of the side.
So you're going to find all missing sides and angles.
Come on, Kyle. You gotta know that. This is a one.
Who else is in geometry right now? Everybody else is in geometry right now.
It's Caleb stuff.
No, he had it last year. Yeah, I should have called on him because he should know the answer. Because I know we did it last year.
Well, I know the answer too.
Okay.
This kid's a good teacher. Shout out.
She was pretty good.
Okay. All right, so what is missing? What do we need to know? Look at the picture. What do we need to know?
The length of C, length of A, and the angle of B.
Okay, so we write the measurement of angle B is missing, the length of lowercase a is missing, and the length of lowercase c is missing. So I'll go fill those in a moment as we find them. Just reviewing how we write the measurement of angle B from geometry, little m, angle B, and then when we write the length of side A, we just write little a, how we write that stuff. All right, so to find the measurement of angle B, good. You could, but that's a longer way. So you should have learned something in geometry that when you have a right triangle, the other two angles always add up to be 90. These angles add up to be 90, so we're going to do 90 minus 28. And we get that measure of angle B is 62 degrees. So that is a shortcut. That also, that 90 minus 28 thing applies to what we're getting to in this chapter eventually. That 90 minus is pretty important. All right, then we're going to find side A. So you can only find one side at a time. It's the exact same thing that we did yesterday, except for we don't know the angle, the sine, cosine, tangent, we don't know them. They're not exact. So we'll be using our calculator instead. Same thing we did yesterday. So according to angle A, the angle that was given, side A is which side?
But like opposite.
The opposite. And then we look and we see which value is given to us. And given to us is B. So B is the what according to angle A? The adjacent. So what uses adjacent and opposite?
Oh, that's tangent.
So we're going to do tangent of angle that is 28 degrees is equal to the opposite A over the adjacent 15. This is where yesterday we knew what the tangent was and we can plug it in. But today we don't know tangent 28. It's not in our chart. So now, because of that, I'm not using my calculator yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve for A first, then we will use our calculator last. So to solve for A, we're going to put tangent 28 over 1. And we have a fraction equals one fraction. When you have one fraction equals one fraction, you can cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply, and we're going to get A by itself equals, when you cross multiply the tangent 28 and 15, you're going to put the number by itself in front. Then you do tangent 28. If you do it in the other order and you don't have all the correct parentheses on your calculator, you're going to get it wrong. So it's easier just to put the number by itself in front. So we have A equals, type it in your calculator, 15 tangent 28. And you will have to approximate this. I believe it is to the 100th in your homework assignment.
7.9.
Right. For the side length, they're going to do the 100th in your homework assignment. So approximately 7.98. I didn't need to write it twice. I had that A equals at the top. Okay, then we have to find C. So we're going to look at C and say C is the hypotenuse. And then you're going to use the side that they gave you. You're not going to use the side you just found. We're going to use the side they gave you. Use adjacent. So we're using adjacent and hypotenuse. Which ratio is that? Which trigonometric ratio? Cosine. Cosine of 28 is equal to the adjacent 15 over the hypotenuse, lowercase c. And then we're going to put cosine 28 over 1 because I don't know what it is. And we're going to cross multiply. When I cross multiply, I get c multiplied by cosine 28 equals 15. Whoops, sorry. So C is not by itself. It says C times cosine 28. So how do I get rid of cosine 28? Both sides divide by cosine 28. Nope. So we have C equals, divide in your calculator, 15 divided by cosine 28. Try it on your calculator.
A teeny bit less than 72.
The two decimal places again.
Yep. When it's the side length, they're gonna have you do 2 decimal places. So I typed it in 2 different ways depending on which calculator you have, and I got 16.99. If you type in 17, it's gonna mark it wrong. 16.99. If they want you to do the nearest hundred. Okay. So that is finding all the information. You'll have a couple like this in your assignment. You also have a couple real life examples because there is a career where not you, but whoever does this career, a surveyor, will measure distances that you can't just take a tape measure and measure. For example, like across the Grand Canyon. You're not going to take a tape measure.
Well, why would you need to know the distance across the Grand Canyon?
Why wouldn't you?
What, are you gonna build
Build a
a
bridge.
bridge? But it's the Grand Canyon.
For your
It's
tight
gotta be
roping guy.
grand.
This guy.
Whatever reason. Science. Some sort of science. I'm sure they need to know it. Okay. So what you do instead is you find a fixed point on one side, and we find a point on the other side. You guys have like a canyon on yours. I didn't copy it up here because it was hard to see, but and then over here, we measure 2 miles later to that same fixed point. We find the degrees, and we got a right triangle. We make it into a right triangle so that we can use trigonometry. We purposely do a right triangle so we can use trigonometry. And they have their little surveying equipment that will help find this measurement, 76 degrees. So we're going to find the measurement of x. We're going to find how far apart the canyon is. So according to this 76 degrees, what is the x? X is which side? Opposite. And then the 2 miles is which side? And then we say what uses opposite and adjacent?
Tangent.
So we do tangent of 76 degrees. By the way, I heard surveyors make good money. If you're good at math, heard they make good money.
Then they'll make more money.
Like 80-some thousand to start. Okay. All right, where was I? Tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent, x over 2. And then do we know tangent 76? Is that from our chart?
That's 4.01.
Do we know it? Yes or no?
I calculated that.
Do you know it? Okay, so the answer is no. Since the answer is no, we have to use our calculator. Put it over 1, cross multiply. I'm asking you these questions because I don't want you to use a calculator when it's one of those special right triangles, when it's 30, 45, or 60, because if you use a calculator on that and you get like a decimal, I'm going to mark it wrong. So I'm asking you these things so you can start recognizing when you use a calculator and when you don't. All right, so we have 2 tangent 76. Type that in your calculator. What is the approximate distance? So it's going to be 8.02 what? Miles. This is like a real life question, so we're going to measure with units. Second question, how about let's find the distance between B and C. So B and C, which side is B to C? According to that angle, which side is B to C? Okay, so can I call it H? Is that okay?
Sure.
What? No, you can name it Y. That's fine. Name it little a if you want. So according to that angle, we need the hypotenuse and we know the adjacent. What uses hypotenuse and adjacent? We do cosine 76 equals 2 over H. Is 76 in that special chart that we have to memorize. So then we use our calculator. Cross multiply. I get 2 equals H cosine 76. So I need H by itself. We're going to have to divide by cosine 76. So you type in your calculator 2 divided by cosine 76. Were you able to change your mode? Were you able to change your mode? I have to. Did you get this answer? Did you get it? Oh. Amy, did you get it? 8.27. Excellent. 8.27 miles. Huh?
Can't add it.
What?
Like the 90 degrees.
What are you talking about?
It says angle of elevation.
Are you talking about the problem or are you talking about the picture? Okay, so my picture doesn't have to do with the problem. The picture is just for vocabulary. The picture is not the word problem. So, yeah. Some won't. Some you will, some won't. Okay, really quick, let's do some kinesthetic learning. I need you to take your arms and I need you to make a horizontal line from the, to the horizontal straight out from your arms, parallel to the ground. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, stretch it. Okay, now we're going to talk about angle of elevation. Angle of elevation is when you start horizontally and then you look up. So one of your arms goes up. And we are making an angle between our arms. One of them is horizontal, the other one is up. That is an angle of elevation. So we have a horizontal and then up. All right? Woo. Woo. Now we're going to do angle of depression. So I'm going to have my arms straight out. And then we're going to take one of our arms, so they have to be parallel to the ground. Take one of those arms and look at something down. That is the angle of depression. When you look down, that is angle of depression, but it always starts horizontally. If you look up, if you look down, it always starts horizontally. So this picture shows you where an angle of depression or an angle of elevation might be. That's just what the picture is. It is not in reference to this question. It's just where I can fit it. All right, so a parasailer is attached to a boat with a rope 72 feet long. The angle of elevation from the boat to the parasailer is 28 degrees. Estimate the parasailer's height above the boat. All right, you ever seen parasailing?
Yeah.
It's over the water.
It's a line.
Okay. And then we have a boat. A boat. And we have a parasailer.
He's terrified.
Is she falling?
But parasailers aren't just falling, they're attached by a rope to the boat. So we need that rope. So I'm going to attach this guy to the boat. By the way, if you do parasailer, it's not like a balloon. It's not like straight up.
No.
It's like from the wind, so it's like a kite. I mean, like pull them with the wind. So that it's like over here. Well, touch this head. It's all approximate.
Now we understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And hurt his mouth now.
Okay, so it says that the rope is 72 feet long.
Okay.
we have to find the angle of elevation from the boat to the parasailer. So when we think about angle of elevation, we're starting horizontal and going up. So I need a horizontal, and then it goes up.
We have our
So that, we have the angle of elevation is 28 degrees. And yes, we have our hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is 72, and we have to find the height above the boat. So he's not literally above the boat, but we're just going to find the height straight up here. We'll call it H, the height. So according to 28 degrees, which side is the height? That is the opposite. Which side is 72? The hypotenuse. What do we use?
Same.
Sine. There is no sin in that. The sine of 28 is the opposite h over the hypotenuse 72. How do we solve it? Question?
Yeah.
What?
Are we going to do the measure?
Are we going to find what?
Measure. Angle measure.
Which angle measurement?
I don't know.
This one? No, because it only tells me to find how high up it is. I mean, we can. It's just extra information. So we're going to cross multiply this. And when you cross multiply, you're going to get h equals 72 sine 28. Type it in your calculator. Caleb, how high above the boat is this parasailer?
Not high enough.
33.8 feet.
That's some weak sauce.
Can you put your phone away before I take it away? All right, last one. So we're drawing a picture. I'm going to stop talking after I read it to you because I want to see if you know how to draw the picture. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. So we have a ship that is seen from a lighthouse at Port Richey at an angle of depression of 15 degrees. How far from Port Richey is the ship if the lighthouse is 52 meters high? You start drawing something. If you don't know what the triangle looks like, start drawing the situation. There is a boat involved. There's also a lighthouse involved. They look like this.
That's fine.
It's like the barbershop polish. Honestly, it's the barbershop style.
It's my light bulb. Pink lighthouse. It needs a roof. It needs a roof. There's a roof.
Can't write on it.
Okay, and then what's a port? What's Port Richey? What is a port? Like, what is a port? Like, yeah. So are they gonna dock like up here in the air? So they're gonna dock on the ground here. Well, yeah, in the water, but like the port would not be in the water. It would be like next to the water. So here's Port Richey.
It's just approximate.
Port Richey. It kind of looks like.
$2.
Okay. And then we've got our water, and then we've got our ship. Ooh, it's a purple ship this time. Okay, so this says that the ship can be seen from the lighthouse. So we're looking from the lighthouse. It says it's an angle of depression. So you gotta think. Horizontal looking down. So I don't have my horizontal line yet. Here's my horizontal line. And I'm looking down at 15 degrees. So when I draw my triangle, the 15 degrees isn't in it yet. When I draw my triangle, See, my 15 degrees is not in the triangle. Question?
Alternative for your angles?
Oh my gosh, gold star for that terminology, yes. So we have parallel lines, we have a transversal from geometry, these are alternate interior angles, so this one is also 15 degrees. So now the 15 is inside the triangle. You must have had a good teacher, and I'll have to tell
You can start off hallway.
I'll let her. Okay, and then I also missed 52 meters high is over here. And we have to find how far the ship is from Port Richey, so we're finding along the water.
Tangent.
So according to 52, that is the opposite, according to 15 degrees, sorry, 52 is the opposite, and x is the adjacent, we're going to use tangent of 15 degrees is equal to the opposite 52 over the adjacent x. Is 52 from our chart that we have to memorize?
No.
It's not, so then you can use your calculator. And you'll cross multiply. So we'll get 52 equals x times tangent 15. You have to divide by tangent 15. So 52 divided by tangent 15 is what you're going to type in. Kenzie, do you get it? Yeah. 194.07, perfect. And then what's the, do you know the, units?
Meters.
Meters. Excellent. All right, the assignment is on big ideas. You might need some scrap paper to draw some pretty pictures.
I need
You guys have time to work on it. Let me just pause or stop this.